Delmarva. Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and we were sort of a little bit all over the place. Our temperatures are going up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's going to be cold and windy this weekend, I think. So it's a bummer.
Cozy up. Although Bob did say that like 50s on the way in the future. We can see it. We're not feeling it yet.
We're getting there.
But we can see it. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still waiting for like big snow. That's what I want.
Yes. Big snow, and it's a big day, Delmarva, because it's Leah's birthday. She didn't know
I tried to get away without saying it.
She didn't know I was going to throw that in there, but I had to. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Of course. Do you have any advice for the people watching of I won't say how old you are unless you want me to.
Oh, no, it's fine.
People are weird about it. You're 31 years of life. What have you learned?
I think I've learned that you never stop learning, and like as soon as you think you know it all, you don't, and when you think you do, that's when you get into trouble. It's when you stop learning, you shut down that brain, and you're like, I know everything, and that's how you get left behind.
I like that.
I also feel like as much as you learn, we still know nothing. You think you've got it all, you don't.
Nope.
So
31, 81, 91, 101.
I'm trying to just stress a little bit less this year.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is some good advice. But we also were talking about bad advice that you get.
Yeah.
So is there any time that you've heard someone else maybe give advice and you're like, I need to step in because this is bad? Or like maybe you just learned that really was not good advice?
I mean, I think some of the common idioms that we use a lot of the time in our day-to-day, like forgive and forget, that's one that I don't actually really like to apply, to be honest. I think forgiveness is important if it's going to help you move on, because that's really who the forgiveness is for.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes people don't necessarily deserve that forgiveness. And if that's not what's going to give you peace in that moment, that's okay. But that's like, you're the one who the forgiveness is going to ease the stress for. But the forgetting, we're not forgetting.
We're not forgetting.
We're not forgetting.
Khloe Kardashian needs to hear that so bad.
I feel like forgive and forget is something that like narcissists came up with, and then it became a common phrase, because that's the kind of person that would be like, oh, forgive and forget, move on, it's okay.
Why are you holding a grudge?
But when you hold that, if you don't hold that grudge, it's opening that door for somebody to hurt you again in a way. It teaches you to unrecognize those patterns that perhaps you ought to see coming. And so I think forgetting, not so much. Forgiving, sure. Forgetting, no.
No, let's not forget. No, we can move past it, maybe, depending, but let's not forget. A lot of times, this drives me nuts, and I always want to step in when I hear, like, my little cousins who are in, like, high school, middle school talking, and they're like, girl, forget him, you're better than him. But it's like, how many times do you have to say that before maybe you think, like, there's things you could change? And I don't mean really necessarily about yourself, but, like, I hear a lot, like, girls will be like, just go get with his brother. And as funny as that is, it's like, or let's focus in and be like, how am I going to move forward in a healthy way? Maybe leave terrible men behind.
Yes.
Let them grow, and I'm going to focus on good men.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we try to, I mean, it's hard to do the work yourself to better yourself and become a better person, if that's, you know, what we're using as a definition here. But I think the hard work pays off, and I think it's a lot easier for you and the people around you to leave the baggage behind. We don't need to always take it with us, and that is how you learn and grow from your mistakes. And I also think that is where, you know, you don't have to necessarily forgive and forget and, you know, write somebody off completely just because they hurt you or wronged you, because I do think people can change. If they put the effort into change and they show you that they can and that they have, it's worth recognizing, because I mean, I'm a different person than I was when I turned 21, and I feel like that deserves some credit.
I think so.
Here and there, you know what I mean?
Like I've told you before, I don't believe in cancel culture unless you're Tristan Thompson. You should be canceled. In the best way, not in a mean way. We should just leave him in 2023.
Yes, and I do believe in, you know, calling somebody out, holding somebody accountable. But where cancel culture, and I think even really calling it cancel culture isn't entirely fair, because I think that's also not what the goal was or what the end game is of calling somebody out, holding them accountable, especially when it's celebrities. You know, they're on a completely different playing field and stage than we are. So obviously everything gets played out bigger, better, bolder when you're holding celebrities accountable for something that they've said or done in the past. But I do think, what we're missing is the accountability. And that's really, I think, what the goal was the whole time.
And then it turned into like, let's ruin his whole life and take his money.
The sensationalism of a lot of things revolving around pop culture, that everything gets sensationalized. You can't even just take a sip and stare. Like, you can't. It gets sensationalized.
It's 100%. Kendall Jenner and her cucumber. That disaster when she was cutting her cucumber that weird
was
way.
a disaster.
And that poor girl was just destroyed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We tend to do that though, just as a society as a whole, where it's like, this person said something I don't like, so let's never give them the time of day again. But you guys get what we're getting at.
Yeah. So what's that sort of common advice that you tend to hear spread around, but when you sit and think about it, you're like, wait, actually, that's not the best advice I've ever heard.
Yeah, no. But hey, we all grow and we learn.
Yes.
Because I've definitely been guilty of some of that before.
You may even learn some of the little things in life that make your day that much better. Like little bright spots in your day, little simple things we can do to make our day a little bit easier, a little better. And for me, I'm still working at it. I really am. But dialing back on social media. Like when I go home, I put my phone on the charger and I turn the volume on so that if somebody calls me, then I can go get it. But I'm like, I don't want to touch it for the rest of the day. And I do think that really helps. I also unfollowed a whole bunch of just like pop news, anything that like I really truly didn't care about. I mean, even like I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, obviously, but I unfollowed a whole bunch of like Taylor Swift news because I'm like, it's too much. I don't need to see it every single day, every moment of my life. Like it makes it harder to enjoy the things you enjoy when you're seeing it all the time.
Definitely. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Something that just makes my day is, and this is no surprise, is if I feel like I have a lot to get done, that I want to get cozy. I want to have, if I have a blanket around me, at least, because I feel like it's less stress when I'm still in my work clothes and my heels when I get home, and now I have to pay this bill and call this person and figure this out. It stresses me out. If I have a cup of hot chocolate and a cozy blanket and I'm in my PJs and then I'm like, oh yeah, let's attack this. You know, it's just, I'm more in my element, I think. So I think that makes my day.
Feels a lot more regal too when you're wrapped in a blanket. It's like a cape. Everything you're getting done feels extra super.
I wish I was one of those people that's like, what's little thing that helps your day? And I'm like, oh, cleaning my room. It's just not me.
That's not me either. I am unfortunately a little bit of a little spender sometimes too, and a little spender. Not always something huge, but like a nice coffee will really hit the spot on my way home and brighten my day right now. And it does. I mean, it works. So I try to do like, you know, all right, I'll make that my Friday thing or my every other Friday thing, and then I'm like, all right, it's treat yourself time. And it you know, it does. It brightens your day. It gives you something simple to look forward to.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, don't you love? I have like 3 packages on the way right now, and I can't wait. I was guilty of that today. I needed to order a new camera bag. I added a couple rings to the
free shipping.
I needed to get the free shipping.
You got to get the free shipping.
You get it. We support whatever, well, not whatever you do, actually, to calm down during the day. We support most of what you do to relax.
That's right. And hopefully you'll relax with us a little bit with Coast Life. We've got a great show to get to today. Our field correspondent, Maya Henry, is going to tell us what's coming up.
Coming up today on Coast Life, looking for the home of your dreams? This week's happy place is sure to take your breath away. And searching for ways to keep your furry friends warm this winter? We have tips from an animal expert to keep them cozy. Plus, love staying up to date with the latest events? Don't go anywhere as we introduce you to one of Coast TV's newest journalists. All that and more when Coast Life gets back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
Coast Life, we've been seeing those freezing temperatures over the last couple of days, and what better time to remind you for a little bit of house maintenance in that area. Joining us on the Coast Life couch is Will Cook with Paul Davis Restoration, the emergency response coordinator. So last week, Will, we talked to you about those wild windstorms that were coming through, and we talked a little bit about that emergency response unit that you guys have in place. It's an awesome program that you have that really keeps people safe and calm, I think, in the event of an emergency. But we also like to take those preventative steps and keeping emergencies from happening in the first place. So this time of year, we're seeing freezing temperatures. What can people do to avoid those frozen pipes, and what kind of problems arise if you don't take care of those steps?
So basically, busted pipes, water is the third most costly event in our homes year to year. With that being said, you know, with the freezing temperatures, make sure your foundation vents are closed, pipes are insulated that are exposed to the outside. Water, obviously shut off, faucets outside are shut off. And just keep the house above 55 degrees so that way it doesn't get too cold in the house to freeze your pipes inside. But most of all, if you have a flood, call Paul Davis.
Yes.
Definitely.
Because I mean, with a busted pipe under your house, you have, it's going to get your insulation wet, your subfloor underneath. So it can really, something small can turn into something really catastrophic and major if it's not taken care of.
Definitely. And I actually saw something on social media the other day about someone taking a dog for a walk, and they saw their neighbor's house flooding. It was obvious that it was a busted pipe. Hopefully that never happens on Delmarva, but if that does happen, who do they call? I mean, do they call the fire department, or if it's your own house and you notice there's flooding, who do you call for help?
You can honestly call Paul Davis.
Oh, great.
Know where your water shutoff is. We'll get out there right away for you. And once we get out there, if you don't know where the shutoff is, we'll shut the water off for you. And then, we do everything from cleaning up, drying, and then putting the house back together like you never even had the incident happen.
Oh, that already gives me like peace of mind.
A bit of relief, because otherwise you're like, all right, I got to call this person to shut the water off, then I got to call this person to do this step, and then this person to clean, and this person. So it's sort of that one-stop shop.
Yeah, that's the one great thing with Paul Davis is it's one call, and we take care of everything for you just with that one call. We do it all for you.
And what if, you don't notice during the day, but you wake up middle of the night, house is flooding. Do they call you in the middle of the night?
Yes, you can call us 24/7 in the middle of the night. We have a 24/7 hotline to call, and somebody answers, and we'll literally be out to you no matter what time of day it is, day or night.
Awesome.
I knew I liked you guys. That's amazing, because I was just telling you before we started rolling, I'm like, I don't know where, you said something about outdoor vents, I don't know. Outdoor faucets? I don't know.
Clearly, Paige and I have a little bit of prep work and homework to do ourselves when we get home today. I know, but even you're talking about just the layers of damage that water can do. And I mean, even in my own home, we just noticed a little bit of water damage in the bathroom. And you're thinking, okay, by the time you notice it on the surface level, it's already done damage a few layers deep.
Right.
A lot of the time. So
yeah, and a lot of times the bathroom is a common place for that, honestly. And then, once you have that little drip underneath the faucet and, the cabinet, that turns into growth and mold and stuff that, Paul Davis also does, that we can come out and inspect that and then, remediate that and take care of that for you and make sure that it's not a health concern as well.
That's amazing that you can just, like Leah said, kind of one-stop shop. You don't have to get all these different quotes from people to inspect mold and redo your kitchen and stop the flooding. It's just one call, and it's local. It's people that live in your neighborhood and people that you can trust. So that's going to bring a lot of families peace of mind.
Yeah, and the nice thing with us is you're not just getting anybody. All of our guys are actually certified state and federal levels. To handle all these tragedies and, respond to your emergency and take care of you the way it needs to be taken care of.
That's true. Paul Davis Restoration, you guys meet people in some of the worst moments of their lives and worst times in their day, whether it becomes a financial issue or just the stress of dealing with these emergencies. You guys really are there to take care of your customers. It's sort of at the forefront of everything that you do.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for everything that you do.
Yes. Thanks for coming in.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, though, on Coast Life, we know we've got your house covered. We have some tips on keeping your pets warm in these colder temperatures as well. So stay right there.
Well, of course, we know that the humans, all of us, we're getting really cold with just what's going on out there. But it's, of course, always really important to take care of your pets. We talk a lot about dogs and cats because that's what maybe most of us have on Delmarva. But we're going to get into that and a little bit more, maybe more of the unusual or just not as commonly seen pets. So we have an expert with us today. We have Gracie with the Brandywine Valley SPCA. Thanks so much for being here today. Hello. Oh, and we have a little guest too. Do you mind introducing him?
We do. This is Moose.
Moose? I'm not going to give too much about Moose away because we're going to see him on Coast Life tomorrow, but just take a look at that face. So Moose here, of course, a puppy. He has that really kind of thin coat. What do you recommend for dogs that are getting cold pretty easily, or maybe they have that shorter hair?
Yeah, we recommend shortening the time outside, whether it's a walk or in the backyard. We also will recommend if your animal is up for wearing a sweater or whatever, then that would totally work as well. And just paying attention to your dog's all around body language when outside. You might tell that their paws may become irritated or visible, shivering and things like of that nature. So.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I know when my dog had that short roll coat, we used to have like matching Harry Potter sweatshirts. So if like a dog will wear it, I know not all dogs love it. I know in the heat, you guys say to watch out for their pads on the pavement. Is that the same thing as the cold?
It's very similar. Their pads are extremely strong, but when it comes to that freezing, ground or ice, which can also, result in cuts on the feet. So we just want to watch all around. So.
Okay, perfect. And cats, I know they tend to stay inside. Maybe you have an outdoor cat though. Is it time to bring the outdoor cats in? I don't even know if that's how that works. What do you recommend?
Yeah, we recommend you can make there's a lot of neat ideas for little shelters that can be made for cats and very like cost efficient, things that you could, buy at a thrift shop, something like of that nature, and maybe just making them somewhere that they know that they can go if they need to in maybe a snow or a freezing rain.
Perfect. And let's talk a little bit too about dogs and cats, of course, very, a lot of us have them, but maybe the livestock, the chickens, if you have goats, I know nothing about that. So do they have to have a heat lamp? How does that work?
Yeah, well, I mean, if anything that's outdoor, we recommend just making sure their resources and things of that nature are, available to them and not frozen. So their water, their feed, anything like that, just making sure that they have those, that and maybe some location to just have retreat to the same.
Okay, that makes sense. I actually didn't think about that, which is I would be a terrible chicken owner. I'm like, oh, as long as they're warm, but yeah, you're right. Their water could freeze and you may not realize. So, okay. I did see something, this is sad, on social media. People were posting that their heat broke during this cold and their fish were freezing. The fish bowls themselves. What do we got to do if that happens?
Yeah, anything that has something that relies on, the power inside the house, just recommending, a backup generator, just that backup plan for heat lamps as well. I mean, anything that has, needs that source to keep them warm and well. So just a backup generator and things of that nature.
Good. Okay. Well, hopefully you're prepared with some of these, extra food, making sure their water is good, blankets, all of that good stuff. And if you aren't prepared, just take Gracie's word for it. Try to get prepared starting now so you don't run into any of those problems. Well, Gracie and Moose, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Can't wait to learn more about Moose tomorrow. Gracie will be back with Moose and Maya talking about our pet of the week. Right now, though, you can stay where you are. We'll be right back. It's time now for one of our favorite segments, one of your favorite segments where we spill the tea.
That's right, the figurative tea, the literal tea, which of course is provided by our friends at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach.
Delicious. What are we having today, Leah?
We are drinking the Sinfully Cherry Green Tea today. We've tried this one before. We loved it so much. Green tea is also really good for you in a lot of ways. So if it's that health kick journey you're on, this might be a good coffee substitute. Like a stroll through cherry orchards, this tea is brimming with blissful cherry aromas and ripe fruity flavor. With a brisk and refreshing finish, the cherry essence of this tea are sinfully delicious.
We love it. Just that smells good. I can't wait to smell the actual tea.
I know it.
All right, I'm going to start reading this for you.
I'll get
We
to
have
pouring.
some friend group drama today, girlfriend group drama, which I love. All right, here we go. So this woman writes in, she's in her 20s, and her other friends, they're in their 20s as well. And each year they like to go on trips to somewhere outside of the country, somewhere fun. So they went to Portugal last time, and it was clear that one of the friends, who she's calling, not her real name, Claire. So we're going to say Claire for just now. Complaining. She was just that friend. There's always one friend.
There is always that friend, unfortunately.
Nothing was going her way. She complained that there were too many activities, even though they all planned the activities in their group chat beforehand. Complained that it was too hot, and why did we pick Portugal, even though they all picked it together? And would refuse to go out. She did not want to go out for dinners, and just the whole thing. Whatever the group wanted to do, Claire was not about it. So fast forward to now. Oh no, go back. Before I fast forward, they left Portugal, and Claire said, in the future, if we're going somewhere hot, I don't want to go. Just leave me out of it. I don't think I like group travel. And they said, got it. Cool. So now they're planning for this coming summer. They picked Italy for the summer.
Ooh, jealous.
Fun. And they planned this in the group chat with Claire. Claire never answered anything. Claire never booked her trip. So they made a different group chat. They're like, okay, obviously Claire's sticking to her word. She's not coming.
Here's the Italy group chat.
Right, exactly. Here's the Italy group chat. Now Claire's really, really mad. Why didn't you invite me? She even said, I wouldn't go, but as my friends, you should have invited me. I go back and forth on this. What's your initial reaction?
This is a tricky one. And remember at the beginning of the show, I'd asked that, I'm a different person than I was at 21, at 31.
Yeah.
And 21-year-old me would have been like, yeah, don't invite Claire.
Right.
She's being the worst. She clearly said she doesn't want to go. Like, easy peasy, done. We don't invite her. We wash our hands of her. But 31-year-old me understands wanting to at least be invited, and then you get the right of first refusal.
Sure.
you're invited. You say, hey, remember last time I didn't have fun in Portugal? You guys go, enjoy. And then you don't get to complain about it.
Right.
If that happens.
Right.
So I totally understand not wanting to invite the person who's not game for all the activities that you plan together and not down to do any of the fun things that everybody agreed on or go out to dinner or just be, I mean, life is so much easier, I think, when the entire group is positive and ready to go. And then you've got that one person, because negativity, or what we say is negativity, is such a strong emotion. And I feel like it can bring the whole party down if one person is like, no.
Right.
And not really giving a good explanation as to why.
Yeah.
But I still do feel like, and it sounds like they did kind of invite her in the group
That's
chat.
what's confusing me about this. That's where I start to be a little, because obviously Claire's miserable. I would not want to hang out with Claire, so let's just get that out of the way.
I don't think I would want to either. I wouldn't want to invite her,
No, I
but
wouldn't
my
want
gut
to.
would say we have to.
Right. I get it, but yeah, that's where I go back and forth, is this one group chat where they planned Italy and she was in it.
So that's the tricky part, where it feels like she
Yes.
was sort of soft invited and she didn't respond, and so
There was this time I remember in college where a bunch of my friends, it was a snow day, and we were kind of in this group chat, and we were like, oh, snow day, let's have a snowball fight at this apartment complex. And one girl didn't come, and she told us later, well, I wanted to be individually invited. And so I think that you have to understand that with friend groups, especially girlfriends, if you're in the group chat, you're invited.
yes.
So that's why I kind of am like, Claire, you're being dramatic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do understand the wanting to be invited. So
Yeah,
I
so
think it's time to let her go.
It could be. It
Yeah.
could be. And again, maybe that's sort of the final straw of like, hey, you're not in the travel group anymore.
You're so
Sorry, but you've made it
to
so
hang out with.
difficult
Yeah.
to do that it's just not worth it.
Yeah, we outgrow friends, and apparently she's been going on trips to places she wants to go with other people.
So
maybe it's
perfect.
just time to cut that part of the friendship out.
That's a hard
Move on.
situation.
It is, but it's not uncommon.
Yes, but what's not difficult at all is enjoying the
Yes.
Sinfully Cherry green tea. It's delicious.
Oh, I love this,
Goes
and
down
I
nice
love
and
the
easy.
smell of it.
Yes, so you can get yourself some of this or any of the amazing, delicious teas or spices,
Yeah.
of course. If you're a big cook or somebody's got a birthday in your family and they like to cook, this is a great spot to check out some gifts as well and maybe throw in a few things for yourself at Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. But we've got some more Coast Life to get to, so stay right there.
Spill the Tea was brought to you by the Spice and Tea Exchange of Rehoboth.
Here on Coast Life, we always try to brighten up your day, and here to sweeten your day just a little bit is Wanda Guyton with Coffee Rendezvous. Welcome.
Hi, how are you all?
Great, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You always have the cutest cups. What you drinking?
A cup from one of my good friends, Beth, who owns Local Wave Studio. Isn't it the cutest cup?
It's so cute and so coastal.
It is. I love it. And I'm drinking one of my coffee brews with my salted but sweet caramel sugar.
Ooh,
It's delicious.
That's actually what we're talking today is the sugar, and I feel like it's such a simple way to really liven up your coffee that I think a lot of people either don't utilize or kind of forget about. What kind of goes into all, because you've got tons of flavors of sugars, so what goes into all this?
Exactly. A lot of creativity, a lot of tasting, right? And so when I created the coffee company, one of the first things that I did was create sugars to go with the coffees and the teas, of course, because I do have teas. And I wanted to teach people that you don't always have to drink white sugar or have white sugar to go with your coffee or your tea. So I have a gourmet sugar line to pair with the coffees and the teas.
And as you can see, it's not just coffees and teas too. You've gotten really creative with our display that looks delicious and amazing here. So talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you brought in today.
So I wanted to talk about the sugars, really. And so I bought a few things to show you how simply you can use the sugars to make your favorite snack, to make your drinks exciting. So the first thing that I did, I took some tangerines and added my sweet cinnamon sugar on top of it. So having a party, you don't have to serve boring fruit. You can take your fruit and just sprinkle some of the sugar on it.
See this? It looks.
It looks so good. They're so cute too.
And they are really good. Who knew that tangerines and sweet cinnamon would make a great pair.
I know.
I honestly want to make it like when I get home. This is going to be, I think,
know.
like an after work snack.
So what else have we got?
I also have, I took plain yogurt
Yeah.
and sprinkled some raspberry sorbet sugar on top. Yep. I have some strawberry cheesecake cupcakes, and I took the hibiscus sugar and sprinkled that on top. So as you can see,
Nice touch.
it livened it up, and it gave it a little kick that you normally wouldn't have with the strawberry cheesecake.
It definitely, we were saying earlier when we saw you put it on, it's like the cupcakes were missing that. You know, they needed a little something on top.
Yes, they came to life.
And I think that's another element that I wouldn't even consider when party planning is not only are the sugars delicious, but they're pretty, they're beautiful to look at, and they can, you know, just liven up the plating as well.
And make people want to eat them.
Yeah. So what have we got in the pitcher?
That's actually my hibiscus pineapple tea with the hibiscus flower power sugar.
Wanda.
Wanda.
I feel like that's what's been missing
In our lives?
from my life. Yes. Oh my
And
God.
I've been doing so well with the summer teas. I have a whole line of summer teas. And so when I'm doing events, I'll take a summer tea out, pair it with a nice sugar, make a non-alcoholic sangria, if you will, and serve it. And those summer teas just fly off the shelf.
I bet they do.
They
so
do.
In case you wanted to get in on some of these summer teas before they fly off the shelf, how can people get a hold of these beautiful and delicious sugars, and maybe they can get creative in their own kitchens?
Oh yes, so locally they can purchase my coffee sugars and teas at Not Too Shabby in Milford.
Okay.
Shore Marketplace in Lewis. If you havenn't been to Shore Marketplace,
Oh, you're missing out.
We love it there.
Yep, in Lewis. ShopRite, which is I'm in stores in Wilmington and Newark, and then my new partnership with Grace and Flavor Bakery. It's a new bakery coming to downtown Seaford this Saturday, so they'll be serving up my brews, my teas, and we'll have some sugar there as well. Oh my gosh. And let me not forget Sydney's in Milton.
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. So plenty of places.
Places to get Cafe Rendezvous.
This is so exciting, especially because I normally drink my coffee black because I don't like the taste of the white sugar in there, but now I want to try all the different flavors because I feel like it'll add just a little flavor, a little kick.
Yeah,
just a little something
when
to
black
brighten
coffee
up your
gets-
day.
Yeah, because black coffee gets boring.
It does. It does. And sometimes after a nice meal, you want that sweet,
Like a dessert coffee.
like a dessert coffee, not truly a dessert like a cupcake or a cookie, but
This is, I feel like it's like a whole new world. I didn't
know,
these
I
existed. I'm so excited to try all of them.
Yes, Wanda's always coming in and tempting us and getting our brains going for creative things.
Yes.
and I have 15 different sugars, and you can find them all at coffeerendezvous.com.
Awesome.
My summer goal is to try all 15.
Yes, well, and like I say, it's never too early to start your holiday shopping either. So these
that's
make
right.
perfect gifts.
They
Just
do.
Throwing that out there. Throwing that
Stocking
out there for ya.
stuffers for the tea or coffee lover.
Yes, but we've got more to get to with Coast Life. Wanda, you can come back anytime.
Please stay. Yes.
But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Discover the eco-friendly paradise at 19192 Earthchi Lane in Georgetown. This unique home features 2 beds and 1 bath on 11.44 acres. This home combines sustainability with comfort, boosting a passive solar design and attach all-season greenhouse and neighboring woodlands. Visit this home's open house on Saturday, January 20th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This week's Happy Place is sponsored by the Parker Group.
Coast Life fam, we have another very special guest we want to introduce you to. We love, 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 and you love it too when we introduce you to members of the Coast TV team.
That's right.
They're always busy covering, you know, sometimes some very serious, sometimes sad news. So it's fun to get to know them and who they are behind the camera.
Exactly.
Yes. Today we are introducing you to one of the newer members, Elisa Weber. Elisa, welcome to the Coast Life Couch.
Thank you for having me. It's so exciting.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
So fun. Well, we do sometimes, you know, we cross paths obviously often in the office, and sometimes I was telling Leah, I feel bad. I don't feel like I actually got time to sit with you yet, get to know you.
Yeah.
I know You're a big Rutgers fan.
I am.
You're a Jersey girl.
I am a Jersey girl.
Tell us about it.
So yeah, I'm from New Jersey. I do like Cleveland sports though, because my dad's from Cleveland. So people think Yankees, Giants. I'm like, no, I like the Cleveland Browns. Stuff like so. Matt and I bond over that. But yeah, I'm from New Jersey, so I didn't know how to pump gas until I moved to Delaware.
Oh my gosh.
So my mom was like, you have to learn how to do that, and I'm like, it's going to be so easy. And my dad and I actually went to the gas station before I moved here, and we would practice. And the attendant was like, no, I have to put. My dad's like, no, I have to show her.
Oh my god.
And I literally was like, what if I can't get this? I can't fill up my gas. I'm a pro now.
Good to know. Good to hear.
But yeah.
So this is very new to you though, because didn't you just move here, I mean, like a year ago? Less than a year?
No, I moved in July.
Oh yeah.
less than a year.
So you're brand new to pumping gas.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
like forget about like all the other stuff with living on your own. It's pumping gas for Jersey girls because, you know, first world problem.
Right.
It's a luxury though. Like having someone pump your gas when it's cold.
True, especially when it's
This
cold
time,
out.
Yeah, or raining.
Are you like really cool when you go back to Jersey? You're like, guys, I can pump the gas. Don't worry.
Well, I found out a lot of my friends already knew how to do it. So, you know, living in New Jersey, going to college in New Jersey, it was like, yeah, you're behind, Elisa. But
That's
you know
okay.
what? I caught up in life now. I can pump gas. So
Yeah, remember
we're
that was a
good.
big point. We had the girls from Jersey at UD where they were like,
Yes.
pump gas.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
That is absolutely amazing. I always love hearing people's Jersey stories. The Jonas Brothers had,
That's right.
They said a very similar thing. So you graduated from Rutgers. I know you're a huge Rutgers fan. How was your time there? What were you a part of at that school?
I loved Rutgers. I mean, COVID happened my freshman year, and it was like, I felt like I got gypped on that year, and then sophomore year, but I joined a sorority sophomore year. I was in Zeta Tau Alpha, rushed over Zoom, which was the weirdest experience, but I met all my best friends, so it can be done. And yeah, so I was in a sorority. I gave tours for Rutgers, so I loved doing that, except like my friends would see me, they would like try to shout, and I'd be like, guys, I'm working right now. Like, I am working, but it was a great experience. College really flies. I have a younger brother in college now, and I'm like, just enjoy it, because he's already a junior, and I'm like, just enjoy that time, because it's so special. But
That's true.
but yeah, Rutgers was great. I never wanted to go to school in New Jersey, actually. I was so against staying in New Jersey. And my parents were like, you need to look at one school, and I'm like, I'll only look at Rutgers because it's a big school. Went on my tour there, and I literally fell in love, and I think my parents were relieved because, you know, in-state tuition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Smart choice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But it was such a great decision, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're really happy to have you here on Coastal Delmarva, and we love that you're a part of our news team. I think you're a very outgoing person. I think the tours and coming here to our area. What sort of stories do you really enjoy reporting, and what have you found yourself getting attached at all to Coastal Delmarva yet?
I love the coast. I grew up coming to Rehoboth, which is actually one of my beat areas. So I love Rehoboth, and just getting to do more feature-y stories. I think getting to know people and focusing on one person is really awesome, and you really just get to connect with someone. And when you talk with them and they forget the camera is there, I found that that's just what's so important, because everyone's like nervous with the camera, and I'm like, nope, you don't look at it, you just look at me. And it's just a great experience getting to know people. So I love doing just individual stories and showcasing that.
Yes, but you also, I know, are a big sports girl. We touched on it earlier, your Cleveland sports. Is that maybe a venture you'll take one day in the sports reporting era?
I do hope so. I majored in sports media and broadcasting, so that's something I would love to do. I want to be the next Erin Andrews.
You are going to be the next
Yes.
Oh, thank you. She is my idol, and I really want to do that. And I love like the Olympics, really any sport. So yeah, it's just,
Awesome.
It's a good thing you work for NBC, Elisa.
I know.
The Olympics are coming up.
That's right.
I know. My dream, well, when I was younger, I watched the 2012 Olympics. That's when I really understood it. And I was like, oh, I want to be an Olympian. Then I realized you actually had to be good at sports, like really good at sports too. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not for me, but maybe I could broadcast there.
Yes.
So maybe I could still go to the Olympics.
There you
Just
go.
hang
With
in
the
a different
Olympians.
realm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So fun. Well, you are so fun. I could sit here and talk to you all day, but maybe I'll just talk to you after work a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do have to let you go. Oh, just don't forget, you can check out Elisa on Coast TV News, normally 5 and 6. She's joined us on the morning show before and on the anchor desk a few times, and more often in the future, right?
Yes, I'll be weekend anchoring in February. So
Amazing.
excited.
All right, you can catch Elisa all the time on Coast TV. Elisa, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
So fun.
Coming up, we have what?
That's right. We're getting a little crafty on Coast Life next. We're going to introduce you to some frozen fun that you can do with the kids. That's on the way. Coast Life, we love to get crafty here on the show. If you remember back in October, we did some Halloween-themed crafts for you.
Yeah.
We weren't great at them.
Well, no, don't, you're being humble. I was not great at them. You were fantastic.
You remember how bad my balloon ghost was?
That wasn't your fault. He had a hole in him, I think.
He wasn't great. He didn't turn out good.
That wasn't yours.
But we still love to do the crafts.
Yes.
And if you remember, we had Jen in from OC Tourism a few weeks back, and she was telling us about all the things you can do in the winter here on coastal Delmarva, including a little craft for you. And this one is really fun. It's really easy to do with the kids. So if you are looking for a cold weather activity that's going to keep them busy, and it's very, very simple, we have the perfect craft for you. So basically, we're making these sun catchers made out of ice.
So cute.
We attempted this in our homes. In the article she wrote, it was about like using the silicone molds, fill them with water. If you want the ice to be clear, you can boil the water. I didn't do that. I don't have a silicone mold, so I used a Frisbee that I had lying around the house. We like when you can use household items. So I took a Frisbee, filled it with water from the sink. I went outside in my yard at night. I picked up like a couple of pine needle things and sticks, and I happened to have some cranberries in my fridge, so I threw all of that in the Frisbee. It's really hard to kind of like make a specific design.
Right.
Because the water makes the sticks float, so they don't stay still. And then, of course, the journey from inside to outside is a little wobbly. But once I got it outside, left it out overnight, and hopefully it turned out well.
Yeah, we haven't looked at our crafts yet. I had a little bit of a different approach. I didn't have any silicone molds, and instead of going out and buying them, it's important for Leah and I to really do what's in our house as best we can so that it's more relatable for you all. So I used just a Tupperware container.
Perfect.
Filled that with water. And then I am in a different situation because I'm in a complex. I have a condo. So I don't really have like a yard to go out and scavenge. It was also raining when I did mine.
It was really cold.
It was really cold. So I thought, like, what can I do that's in my house? So I have some seashells from previous times I walked on the beach, put some seashells in mine. I did make, I think, maybe a mistake because I had a bin of Christmas decorations I was putting away. And so there was a lot of like tinsel and glitter on the ground. So I scooped that up and put it in. But then I remembered, like, if I keep this outside and it melts, it's not great for the environment. So I won't do that for mine.
Okay.
But just learn from my mistake, because I think the point is you leave it out, it's beautiful, and it slowly just will melt away, and then who cares? You have a couple sticks and berries outside.
Yes.
No harm, no foul.
You've got all biodegradable ingredients.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about it.
What was weird with mine, though, it didn't freeze in the middle. So I'm curious to see how it's going to look now, because it is now fully frozen.
All right.
But we'll check it out.
All right, let's see how they turned out.
We're going to head outside.
Ta-da! Ta-da! So these are how they turned out. How'd it go?
I was really excited to show Leah mine until I saw hers.
Well, it's not really fair because you live in a complex that doesn't really have as many natural resources available. But I thought the seashells were a really cute idea.
Yeah, you can't even see them, and the tinsel apparently floats.
So the sticks float too, and I think you may have gone a little too much on the water. I think you want a more shallow dish.
I think so too.
Or even so, just fill it up a little bit less.
Probably
so
why mine didn't freeze at first.
Pop them out.
Oh God, it's so ugly. Mine is so bad.
It is not.
Well, mine looks like the indent of my Tupperware, which is exactly what it is.
So yeah, they're little sun catchers. If you want, you can add like, I guess a little twine is the word I'm looking for. Hold them up in the sun.
You can give this one to someone you don't like and give this one to someone for a Christmas present.
So I want to say it's so easy. You can be able to do it with your kids. But it could prove a little bit more challenging. Again, maybe a better idea would to collect stuff in the woods together first, bring it back home, and then make it. So there you go, some inspiration for you.
Mine has my hair frozen into it too. I just noticed.
For a chilly weekend,
a mess.
We do have a little bit more Coast Life to get to though, so you're not going to want to miss it.
Before we let you guys go in honor of Leah's birthday today, I decided to look up what day you were born, talking like what national day of the year it is.
Yeah, the National Day calendar is always a fun thing to check out on your birthday.
And this one's a little funky.
Yeah, there were all kinds of things to choose from.
So you pick what speaks to you, Leah.
Okay.
And if it's your birthday today, then you pick. It's Get to Know Your Customers Day.
Okay. Don't have any customers, so that one doesn't really speak to me. I'm not a business owner.
That's okay. It's National Michigan Day.
Never been to Michigan, so I'm going to cross that one off.
Okay. National Thesaurus Day.
I don't hate National Thesaurus Day. I am always looking for different words to say the same thing, especially in this industry.
So far, that's what's resonating, Thesaurus Day. National Peking Duck Day. Peking duck.
I don't know. Nah.
Yeah. Is that what it is? I've just been told it's Peking duck, but it's spelled P-E-K, so I thought it was pecking. National Peking Duck Day, Leah. National Winnie the Pooh Day.
Aw, yeah.
That one's sweet.
I'm going to go with National Winnie the Pooh Day. I think it was probably every bit of 9, 10 years ago. I did a little watercolor drawing of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet sitting there and the whole, like, if there ever comes a day we're not together, I'll be with you forever.
Oh, I love that.
Get some great, we were talking about bad life advice at the beginning of the show. Winnie the Pooh's got some great life advice.
He really does.
Make sure you check some of that out. Revisit some old childhood favorites.
Yes.
And sometimes that'll take you right back where you want to be.
Well, let's end the show on that note. That's sweet. I hope one of these national days resonated with the rest of you, but right now we have some news for you.
That's right. Coast TV News at 5 takes over from here. We're getting out of here. We'll see you for Friday tomorrow.